Okay, so you're gonna see before the vlog for November if it comes out, because I think I'm just gonna do a multi-November December vlog because well, let's see. It's December. It's busy. I am currently working 2 jobs. I'm kind of in the middle, in between. I'm working one full-time, one part-time. That's like almost full-time. I'm working about 14 to 20 hours a week. So I only have one day off, which is today, which is Monday the 11th. So it's halfway almost through the month. We are 14 days from Christmas. I have one person left to shop for and one package I am still waiting to come into the mail. I got bangs. I redid my hair. It kind of looks a little washed out today. I haven't really styled it or anything. I've just been letting it do its own thing. But good news is that I'll actually be able to do what I want with my hair. So, we have that. And it's actually a little warm in here. But, on other news, we're going to kind of make this video into 3 parts. We're going to have a bookish section, we're going to have a writing section, and then we're going to go from there. I will be doing a video on the Goodreads awards because I know they all came out. I know they're all finalized, and I didn't make one for in between like I was going to. But is what it is. I haven't had a lot of time to read. So we're going to go first over books that we are going to be reading in December. And I'm going to kind of put them towards like what I want to read most. All that. And yes, I've already read one in December and I'm in the middle of a second one already. So we're going to start there with what I have already read. I'm not going to share my opinion or anything until my wrap-up video of 2023 that is going to come out very close to the end of the month. And that is Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. This was very intriguing, very different. So not what I'm used to reading. This was suggested to me by a author, reader friend of mine, named Riley. It was on my 24-hour TBR. I had like maybe read like 20 pages of it by the end of the 24-hour marathon that I had back in October, which is in my October vlog, which I will put here up above. And I wasn't really interested in it at the time. I read the first 20 pages and I'm like, nah, not really my thing, not really my style. So basically, there's this girl, Libby, who is the sole survivor other than Ben Day of the Kinnicky murders, I think is what they called it. Yes, the Kinnicky, Kansas murders. Look at me, I'm remembering things. And it's 24 years later and she's running out of money, trying to find a way to earn more money, and these people approach her and are offering her money to basically prove her brother's innocence, who she helped put in prison 24 years ago. And so there is a non-linear timeline here. So you're also following Ben and Patty. Patty is her mother, through the day. And you slowly unfold and see everything that happened and all this other interesting things that happened in this. And eventually, she's also now essentially getting chased by the same killer that took place 24 years ago. But you're not really sure if it's Ben or if it's somebody else, or if Ben's talking to somebody outside of the prison. Like, you don't really know the facts because everybody is keeping some heavy secrets. So the first 50 pages of this is definitely a drag, but once you can get through that, it's definitely interesting. It's a little dark. They labeled this a mystery. I was really wishing that they would label this thriller. Definitely was more thriller-esque. So, we're gonna put this down. This is officially done, and I'm not telling you guys my rating. Now, I would normally do the normal TBR, but you see, we got a package in the mail today. So we're gonna open that. We're gonna open that right now. Got a little damaged, and it's around Christmas time. It got delivered late, and I also forgot to order it on time, but this is still the latest it's ever been, so I think I can open it from there. I don't think I need the knife for the rest of it. Maybe I lied. Oh my dear. I think I lied. I might have needed the knife. Oh, okay. Opening it up. Alrighty. Let's see. Whoa, I'm clicking buttons on my keyboard. Whoops. Alrighty, so season greetings. Your books may be berry and bright. Are these stickers? Oh, we got some stickers. got some fun little stickers. I don't know what I'd really use those for. Maybe I'll use them for my reading journal that I got. So we're going to put that with the reading journal. So I got this because I haven't actually read any Christmassy books. I read The Winter Sister back in 2021 around winter time. But other than that, I haven't really done winter Christmassy like books. So I got The Kingdom of Sweets by Erica Johansson. I don't know, Nutcracker retelling. I did the one-liner. I can't quite remember it. All I know is that I've been kind of seeing this. I saw it once on TikTok, and then I saw it one other time, and I was looking through the books of the month, and my partner and I were trying to decide what to get because we kind of have been curating book tastes together now that he's gotten into reading. So I'm trying to pull up the exact book summary, which is not going to let me do, is it? Oh, there it is. Alrighty. View details. Alright. Buckle up for a dark and strange ride. The wicked rewrite of the Nutcracker has a couple of surprises up its sleeves. Creepy, based on a classic, unsettling, and siblings. So, this is kind of why I chose this. It's kind of more the esque that I wanted. It's still in the genre. I think it's still in fantasy. It is still in fantasy, but from the vibe that I'm getting, it's going to have like a little bit of a thriller-esque fantasy vibe. And I have come to find this year with pushing my bounds of genres, which I'm going to do more next year for sure because I didn't do a great job. I think this will help me push the boundaries even further, but also giving me something that I absolutely love and I can probably dive into in like one good sitting. I mean, it's not even that long. It's a little over 300. It's 354 pages. 354 pages. So something that I'm probably going to eat up Christmas Eve-ish, maybe the day before starting, because I am working Christmas Eve in retail. I'm not working the sales job. I actually put in my notice for that sales job that I have been working. So, and I'm really excited for my new journey starting in January to work there full time. But in the meantime, we work there part time, and this is so much fun. And my brother is working out downstairs, so there is going to be some noise, and I do apologize for that. That is really loud. But this is definitely probably one of my top reads, and I'm really excited to read this month. I have another winter-esque book that I got off of Libby. I think it was a romance. Again, still just trying to push the bounds, and I'm going to try to pull that up while I get the next book loaded and ready to go. But I'm just going to put that there because that is at like the near top of my list, and we know that I like to prioritize by just stacking, though I am a mood reader, so it makes it very hard. So the book that I have picked for myself is The Winter's Tale. It's very bad to see, but it's based on a movie, and I was looking for something to maybe watch and read, so I just picked that for my Kindle for when I'm working at the part-time job. So a book that I have borrowed that I am going to be finishing tonight because I'm going to give it back to him tomorrow is Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. So, as we know, I attempted to read American Gods this year, and I, for the first time ever, DNF'd a book. I usually push through books even if I don't really like them, like the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I hated the first one, didn't dislike the second one, didn't like it, so on and so forth. I did like the third one. But, yeah, shouldn't be a thing. And then, that is not an appropriate bookmark. Just happen to look at the bookmark. Anywho, so I'm about, 46 pages through. It's a young adult, apparently, but it's interesting. I didn't think anything of it. So description-wise is Richard Mayhew is a young man with a good heart in an ordinary life, which is changed forever when he stops to help a girl he finds bleeding on a London sidewalk. His small act of kindness propels him into a world he never dreamed existed. There are people who fall through the cracks, and Richard has become one of them, and he must learn to survive in this city of shadows and darkness, monsters and saints, murderers and angels, if he is to ever return to the London that he knew. And I think I'm getting to that part right now, because it's just like, he found the girl that was bleeding on the streets and stuff, and I mean, it's definitely caught my attention. I just I haven't had time to read, and yesterday I was going to bring it into the part-time job and read it then, and let's just put it this way, I did not have any time, because I hated the Target next door because I ordered everything for pickup so I could just walk over, grab it, walk back. No, I had to actually go shopping because they had nothing. It is what it is. I'm trying to eat better again, and because I hit a depression, didn't work. So I didn't get to read this, not only because it was also freezing rain, snow, and there's no snow on the ground. It's not cold enough for snow on the ground, but it's cold enough to snow. So tell me how that works. But we're gonna finish this tonight. Definitely intriguing, definitely intrigued. I'm 40 pages in, and I already feel way better about this than I did American Gods. Because I read American Gods over like 3 weeks, and I didn't finish. And if we know me, I am a book girly that'll sit there and I will read the entire book in like a sitting. So, yeah. That's the thing. So, we're gonna go with books that I am highly anticipated on doing and reading this month. I'm just looking through real quick to grab them all in the correct order. Some of them my partner picked out, some of them I've kind of picked for myself, and some are kind of repeaty from the previous months. So again, we're going to put this here because it's high priority. Alrighty. Beautiful. So we're going to start with least anticipated to highest anticipated for what I have currently grabbed. So this one was picked out by my partner, and I will insert that video here on how we did that, because we did use dice rolls because we are a D&D household. I am in the middle of moving, so things are also going to be here and there in videos and out of videos because I'm working on it.
Eliminate the bottom shelf.
Yes.
So we can make a total of 12. When I roll 2d6s, and whatever that comes up is the shelf that we picked the book off of.
For the second one, yeah.
For the first one.
For the first one.
For the second one, I want to do that. Yeah.
D6.
Do you have it? And then there's one over there. Oh, that's a D10.
That's a 10.
Oh, you have a D12.
You have a D12?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll just do the D12. And then I want to pick the thing out of there.
Oh, you want to do a wrap one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know where I'm going to roll it. Just on the
bed. On top of my current read.
So it was
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 is that bottom shelf.
Okay, so you have to pick a book off the bottom shelf?
Yeah.
How many books are down there?
Not too many. That was our first Books a Million trip and our, what's it called? Trip. Our Books a Million trip and our Bull Moose trip during my vacation. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Technically 11, because the second book to the dragon one I have over in the other. Oh shit, we had more shelves.
Where?
We had those 2 big ones right there.
That's okay. I'll roll the 7 anyway. So anything 11 or under.
Yeah. Yes.
Starting from, where are we going to start it from? Top left and go down and then order that way? 5. 1, 2.
Ugh, hold on. Ugh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lights Out. Lights Out by Ted Koppel. So it's a cyber attack, and it's basically America unprepared for said cyber attack. It is a political science book, which is nonfiction, obviously. So this is something that could really, really happen, but I think it also falls in the fiction category, because they did, it's not something that happened, but this book, even though it looks a little bit thicker, is only approximately 200 and something pages, and the rest of it is all citations. Because, yeah, basically these are all notes, and the rest of it is the actual book. So I've been very interested in that, so the praise for it is here on the back. I was looking for maybe a quote to pull for you, but I'll just read a little bit of the inside, just this little red portion. In this tour de force of investigative reporting, Ted Koppel reveals that a major cyber attack on America's power grid is not only possible, but likely, and that it would be devastating. So this is me pushing my bounds, but it kind of feels thriller-esque, but it's also reality. And though I do like reading my books for escapism, this one stood out to me because it is something prominent and something that absolutely could happen in the world. Everything is cited, and when I do read like a thriller-esque, fictiony, non-fiction book, if you get what I'm saying, I want it to be as accurate as possible, and I feel like this is gonna take the cake for me, so this is what I am going to be reading. It is definitely not the highest priority I have on this list because the rest of them are, I think every single one of them is a part of a series. So, but no, this is the least anticipated, but probably will be the first read because it's nice, short. It seems like it's a quick read, unless it goes into too much of the political side of it. Because I'm not a girly of said politics. So, but I would like to see more on this, and yeah, we're gonna go from there. We're gonna make a stack now. Boom. Alrighty. I'm really deciding what, so I have two series here. I have one that I am buddy reading, she's only 4 chapters in, and the other one is about, like, chapter 25. So I should probably catch up on that after Neverwhere, but we will see, because like I said, I'm reading that closer to the end of the month. So we're gonna go with that one. Yeah, alrighty, and that is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. So I surprisingly liked Fourth Wing. I'm not big on popularity. I'm not caught up on anything going on in the world. I've seen very little people saying that they like the second one. And from my understanding, from what I talked to my coworkers about, because we have all read Fourth Wing at this point, is essentially that this wasn't the romantasy everybody expected. They're like, oh my gosh, it had too much politics and too much this and too much that. And we're gonna negate what I said about politics, because that's real life politics. Fantasy politics, that is a real fantasy novel. The one thing that I wish we got more in Fourth Wing was a plot and fantasy, and not so everything else that was going on in Fourth Wing. I am not going to spoil anything, so nobody has to worry about me spoiling anything. I was pleasantly surprised that I was shocked by something. I knew something was up with certain things, but the last couple lines there, I didn't know what to expect, and when I got it, I was very pleasantly surprised and kind of wanted to jump right in, but like, I had my library book, I had so many other things going on, and this baby is 250,000 words, and Crescent City was only 200. So, we've got some reading to do. This is gonna take the cake, probably, and take me a long, long time. So, but I am excited for the actual fantasy. Like, I'm expecting more Day of Fallen Night vibes. Not Day of Fallen Night, Priory vibes. Because it's going to lean in more heavily on that fantasy aspect that I did not get before, and I am still very, very, very disappointed in. So, Iron Flame, definitely more excited about than I was with Fourth Wing, because it was super overhyped. But I know this is overhyped too, but, I mean, Fourth Wing was not a 5-star read for me. This probably won't be a 5-star read for me. But you know what? It is an enjoyable story, and I know it's going to be a year until the next one comes out. So we're going to hope that this doesn't leave on another insane cliffhanger. Because that's all I've been thinking about. And I'm trying not to tell my partner, because my partner's like, I will eventually read it. So I'm trying not to be too bad. He's telling me he'll forget by the time he reads it, but in reality, like, I don't know about that, but if you don't know anything about Fourth Wing, I guess I will sit here and I'll talk for a second about what it is about. Basically, this girl, Violet, she is very weak. She only wanted to be a part of the scribe. That's what she trained for. And then the 6 months prior to Fourth Wing beginning, she was told by her mother that she was going to be a writer, that everybody in the family was a writer. So that is what she is going to do. And she can die trying. So, she gets into the school on literally barely off of the parapet and has to deal with all of the bad things and dealing with herself breaking down and training harder than anybody. But she is the one that has the smarts. She is the one that knows everything. She is the one that can poison. She is the one that knows what plants do. She is the one that medically knows. She is the one that knows all the scriptures. She's the one that knows all of the ordinances and the rules and all of that. And her best friend is there, Dane, who is trying to protect her in a very, like, great way in his opinion. But you guys will see what I mean if you ever read it. You kind of just want to smack him. So, like the first time or two, you're just like, he's being sweet, he's being caring, and then you're just like, I don't like you anymore. But there's that. That's the only closest thing to a spoiler you get. Anybody that likes Dane, I am so sorry. There's big red flags. So Iron Flame. I hope I don't get disappointed as you saw me whack those nearly off my face. Alright. So yeah, I didn't put that as my top anticipated book that I do want to read. So we're going to go over both of those books now. And that is S.A. Chakraborty's Empire of Gold and The River of Silver. So The River of Silver is like a prequel, during, and epilogue. So we're saving that for last. And this is the conclusion to the Draftbot trilogy, and I'm not ready for it to end, and I have been procrastinating, but you know what? I want to finish this baby before the end of the year, and I can't believe how quick City of Brass actually read once I started reading it. So, yeah, no, I mean, if you want to know what it's about, basically you're following two characters. You're following Nari in the first book, who discovers that she has Dave blood in her, and she summoned somebody who is helping her on an adventure while also avoiding demons, essentially. While the other one is Ollie, who is a prince. He is not the top prince. He is not next in line to the throne, so he's kind of cast aside. He's a military trained officer. He knows how to fight. He knows how to defend. But he also does not like the discrimination against the half-bloods, is what they call them, where they are half human, half dog. Deva. Wow, my brain. So he'd been funding it, and then being sneaky about the money about it. He knows his dad will probably kill him for it. And eventually their stories interline with each other, and everything kind of hits the fan from there and goes into the second book, which then really starts going and hitting the fan that reads into book 3. So, River and Silver will be right after that, and that's going to be a good day, because that's like so many words. That is such a big book. I think it's like near 800-900 pages, so I have all big books for this month. Another book that my partner now picked, now that we're out of the most anticipated, we're just in the rest of the TBR pile. So we got one book.
Book.
Now the question is going to be, do I open this book now, or?
Wow.
Yeah, you don't know.
So close.
14.
Okay, he might be a little buzzed. He says, "Thank you for dinner. I love you more." Yeah, we're gonna be childish. I just said you're welcome. I'll talk to you in the morning.
What's this?
You want to unwrap it?
It's small and thin. Want to unwrap it?
You want to open it like it's a present?
It's like Christmas and Thanksgiving.
It is Thanksgiving.
I know. It's like Christmas on Thanksgiving.
He's not showing us. He's trying. Is it a young adult book? No. It's...
The Cabin.
Oh, okay. So it's thrillery horror, but I don't know if it's like young adult or not.
I don't know either.
I don't either. I do know she was popular on Wattpad. So those are the 2 books you want to pick?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is The Cabin by Natasha Preston, a Wattpad author. This actually came out of a wrapped book, as you saw, and it just seems interesting. They think they're invincible. They think they can do and say whatever they want. They think there are no consequences. They've left me no choice. It's time for them to pay for their sins. Like, That sounds really good to me. Sounds really good to me. So, thriller, quick one-day read, young adult, maybe, but I know we're pushing from young adult fantasies, but, this is, yeah, young adult, and I know I'm pushing away from that, but it's thrillery. Sounded interesting enough to me when it was pulled out of the wrapped books, so there is that. Next up is one that was pulled from next month because I'm going to mix them all in now. It's Map of Time by Felix J. Palma. So from my understanding, it's kind of time travel-y in a sense. So it says, characters, real and imaginary, come vividly to life in this whimsical triple play of intertwined plots in which a skeptical H.G. Wells is called upon to investigate purported incidents of time travel and to save lives and literary classics, including Dracula and the Time Machine, from being wiped from existence. What happens to the present if we rewrite the past? It's a big boy. Again, I don't know what genre this is, but I'm going to assume that it's a full-on, like, either sci-fi, fantasy style. And this doesn't have any page numbers. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Wait, does it actually not? It does. Okay, hold on. That was weird. The total ending does not. Okay. This is a very long. Oh, a sample of Map of Sky. So this is a series. Oh, that is dangerous. 609 pages with a decent long excerpt of the second book. I thought this would all be. Oh, we are in trouble. Oh, download free ebook editions of the classics that inspired it. Okay. This came out in 2012, the second one. So when did this one come out? This came out a while ago, didn't it? Back when... Oh, so not too long ago, it doesn't seem like. It says this book was only $16. Paperbacks aren't that much. I mean, unless you're Haunting Adeline, where you're $30 because you're so highly anticipated. I have not read it, so don't ask me any questions about Haunting Adeline. I just know what it costs because I work at a bookstore. So, I know the cost of the book, and it surprises me every time. Okay, this came out in 2012. So this came out, no, it came out copyright 2008, so I'm going to assume 2008. But it also says, yeah, originally published in Spain in 2008. So this came out here in our Trisha paperback edition in 2012. And then the other ones were also released here. So that makes more sense. So this was 2012, but it was actually published in 2008 in Spain. That is what I wanted to know. But it is apparently a New York Times bestseller, so there's also that. There is also that. Alrighty. Next up, we have one that I grabbed from the library. I don't have a book club this month, so you guys don't get a book club book, and I apologize for that. But we have The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I've heard way too many things about this book not to pick it up at this point, and I'm trying to catch up with all you bookish pals, and this one apparently is very highly anticipated, so we're doing it. So, magical, enchanting, spellbinding, mesmerizing by the Associated Press. That is a review. Okay. The circus arrives without warning. No announcements precede it. It is simply there, when yesterday it was not. Within the black and white striped canvas tents is an utterly unique experience, full of breathtaking amazements. It is called Le Cirque des Rêves. I'm so sorry if I pronounced any of that wrong. And it is only open at night. But behind the scenes, a fierce competition is underway, a duel between two young magicians. Celia and Marco, who have been trained since childhood expressly for this purpose by their miracle instructors. Unbeknownst to both of them, this is a game in which only one can be left standing. Amidst the high stakes, Celia and Marco soon tumble headfirst into love, setting off a domino effect of dangerous consequences and leaving the lives of everyone. From the performers to the patrons, hanging in the balance. So, romance, fantasy, not my typical style. Which is funny because I did read Fourth Wing, so I'm not gonna knock it till I try it. But this is my library's copy. They have the cool, like, you actually open it and it's like so fun. So yeah. So if they got it in 2012, from Target, somebody must have donated this copy. Though it was arrived in 2012, so we're gonna read it. We're gonna see it. We're gonna find out. We're gonna probably love it. Never know. Next up, we have The Circle by Dave Eggers. We know I only want to read this because it has Emma Watson as a character that plays in the movie. And I'm trying to read all my movie ones so I can actually watch the movies and shows that I say I'm going to watch and all this other fun stuff, right? So, you know, it says, when May Holland is hired to work for The Circle, the world's most powerful internet company, she feels she's been given the opportunity of a lifetime. Even as life beyond the campus grows distant, even as a strange encounter with a colleague leaves her shaken, even as her role at The Circle becomes increasingly public, what begins as a captivating story of woman's ambition and idealism soon becomes a heart-racing novel of suspense, raising questions about memory, history, privacy, democracy, and the limits of human knowledge. I know that there's a second book to this now. This might be highly more anticipated than I thought to read, so it's probably why it was made into a movie. I don't know. So we're gonna read that. Okay, we have 2 more books. And we're gonna go with my other borrowed one from my partner who actually read this year, so I want to read it, so maybe we can talk about it, which is The Puzzle Master by Danielle Trusani. From my understanding, I'm not going off of anything else other than what he has told me, which is a football player, got into an accident, and now he is uber super smart, and he went to prison to talk to this girl to get like a puzzle or something, or mystery to be solved, and it just turns very interesting. So it just came out, I think. It was on the new releases at Barnes when we went like 4 or 5 months ago now. Oh right, I forgot about this. He put the entire cover on upside down, so we're gonna just, this looks so weird. I'm just not fixing it right now. This came out in 2023. Yes, it did. It did indeed, but it doesn't tell me the date. I don't think inside of the books tell you the date. I wish it did, but it doesn't. So, that is a book that we want to read. Yes, I know it's upside down and backwards, but it's fine. It's fine. I haven't read it yet, but now I know, so that's the important part, and I'm going to read this. It's not my typical read, but we're going to see how it goes. And then the last book I can't really tell you guys about because it's in a, yeah. So this is if I don't want to read anything off of my list. I'm just going to open this and read it. I think, let me guess, because I know what books I wrapped up, but it's a hardcover, and I don't remember what hardcovers I wrapped up. But I'm going to go with Lightlark, which will be okay because the second one just came out, so I won't be left on the cliffhanger everybody else was. So I don't feel as bad about it. And those are the books. That's the book portion of this video. And that was a 30-minute long stink. And I'm very, very thirsty now. And I'm actually going to jump up and grab my water. And yes, I'm using a red Solo cup because I feel like it. Apparently I'm dying of thirst because I just I spilled some. Okay, my friends. Let's talk about some writing, shall we? NaNoWriMo was last month. I finished. I hit 50,000 words and then I just stopped writing. So my number one goal probably of this month will be finishing writing the Narmanlo, and figuring all that fun stuff out. And we're just gonna actually move these bangs out of my way, out of my face, because I don't feel like dealing with them right now. So that's gonna be very fun and interesting because we're going to be writing a secondary draft of it. We're going to have this first one where I go off of the old draft outline that I had to rewrite it. And then we're just going to write it again in third person without looking through any of it. We're just gonna get the main points. We're gonna write them down like boom, boom, boom. And we're just gonna write and we're gonna go for it. And we're not gonna look at any of the scenes that we wrote, combine them, possibly. If I don't change the point of view, which I will be trying if I still feel like the story is not flowing the way I want it to. I feel like first person might be a little easier for me because I like to dive into emotions with people. So we're gonna see if that works, and I've decided that I cannot stand my hair when it looks like that. So we're just gonna throw them back in my eyes. It's okay. They're just a little long. But yeah, no, I did love this project when I first wrote it, and I still love it now. It is near and dear to me. It is sentimental at its core, and I don't know where it's going yet, but I know that I have a story to unfold with it, so we are going to get there, and we are going to get there together, even if it takes, an amount of time that I don't completely understand. I'm hoping to finish it. I'm hoping if I'm in the mood to write that I actually have time to just sit and write the book and kind of, do what I do with it and all of that fun stuff. So that is one of my goals for writing, but it's not the only one that I have because I still have that series that I want to get out to you guys starting at the end of next year, which is the Exiled series. What am I going to be doing with that? So my partner is reading book 1. He's going over it because he's new to reading. So if something's boring the ever-loving crap out of him, he is going to tell me. And he has read actual high fantasy, which was John Gwynn's Shadow of Gods, I think was the name of it. I haven't read any of them yet. But I know the second one was Hunger of Gods. And so he's read 2 of them. He read them back to back. He read them pretty quick. For picking those to start reading with. So, and now he's like done another third fantasy along with that other one. Like, I'm very, very proud of him. So this is definitely gonna not be as like all that fantasy. But it's also gonna tell me where I need to work on it. My CP partner gave me a couple pieces of advice, which I actually have taken. Some of them I haven't, but I definitely took the hardest hitting ones to heart and am in the middle of working out, moving some scenes around, including, kind of flashback chapters. So, like, the main character, Laura, is thinking about this incident that irrevocably poisoned her for life internally that nobody can cure, where she has to debate whether or not it's reality or poison. And what are you doing, Aloy? You okay? Can you come cuddle mommy? You wanna come cuddle mommy? No. Okay, well if you do, I made you roam. Okay. Irrevocably poisoned her. And it was like 2 full chapters, but I realized that some of the beginning lagged, and there is some kind of like trauma in there in the beginning where she's like kind of having little panic anxiety meltdowns. And hi, come here. Anxiety panic meltdowns. So we're just kind of gonna go with that and actually mix it in there with like certain scenes that actually meant that part, and then have maybe 1 chapter or less of the flashback. I know that was uncomfy. And then there was scenes that were missing from my old drafts when my computer crashed. By crashed, I mean somebody wiped my old computer. So I know that was so rude, right? You guys can't really see her, and I apologize. But yeah, we're gonna be doing that together. In the midst of moving. So there is that. She's gonna have to get used to the car. She's not happy about that. You're not happy about that, are you? It's an hour. Well, My mom is trying to cook tofu. It said, oh, we'll flatten it with a skillet. So I did it with my hands, and now it's all crumbled, and I need to cut it into cubes, and I'm just like... Oops. It's fine. It'll be fine. It'll be good. It'll taste the same. I mean, I can't see the recipe, so I don't know actually how it's supposed to be, so we'll find out as I'm fixing, again, my bangs, because I didn't feel like heating them up today and styling them. So, I also didn't get out of bed till noon. But we're gonna continue on with the Exile series. So there were scenes missing when Ayla was here and all of that fun stuff, because now she's decided to sit there with my mom and try to figure out how to cook tofu. She's not actually gonna eat the tofu or actually cook the tofu, but besides the point. So yeah, there was those things that had to be fixed. So I'm fixing them. Other than that, I am editing the rest of book 4 because I was nearing the end of book 4, and I am also doing book 5 this month if I am able to, because it should mostly be main edits where I just kind of like read through it and see if there's anything missing that I want to add, and things that I did do in the first book that I definitely need to reiterate in the other ones that I did change when I did all these extra scenes and relationship building, because I did make a relationship build in book 1 where secrets may or may not be revealed, and well, the character development did make a lot more sense and emotions did make a lot more sense, so we're gonna go from there. Yeah. There's there. For any other writing stuff, it's more going to be doing as much masterclass because it does expire this month. So I've been taking a lot of the art courses and stuff because I've taken all the writing ones that are on there currently. So I'm not really super like worried about anything like that. At the fact of just trying to more get the writing done. Finishing the book Story Fix, which I'm reading just to kind of find some more advice in the actual story aspect of everything. Make sure I'm not missing any like super, super high heavy points. Because if I'm not learning, I mean, there's always going to be something you can do to better yourself and better your book. If you are looking at me in the eyes and you're telling me your book is perfect, that there is absolutely nothing wrong with it, then you're doing something wrong. And what I mean by that is there is always room for improvement. You are always learning how to do something. And if anything is perfect, well, then there is nothing perfect. I have 5-star freaking books in my house that even have a spelling error in them. Like, it has editing. Like, there's always something. And then later on, most of them say, I wish I had done this differently. And if you can't look back at a piece of work from 5 years ago and tell yourself how you could have done things differently, or after doing your draft several times being like, why did I ever change it? It was so perfect. Then there is something wrong. We're always learning as writers. We are always learning, and if we stop saying that we learn, then we're stuck. We're stuck in a rut, and the world is a lot harsher than that. And it is what it is in that aspect of things. So we've just gotta pick up from there and keep going and just hope for the best. Other than that, I mean, I think that's really the rating update that I have. And with that, you guys have my reading update. I'm going to either mix the vlogs, or the November one's going to come out super late. Because again, I'm not going to be home until next Monday. So, I mean, I am and I'm not. Like, I'm here for a couple of days, but it's only at night because I'm working so much until Christmas. I figured I'd get some extra money in before then, and for the move, and if I have to get any furniture or anything like that, which I know I have to get a bed frame. I'm not taking this one with me because we only want to move it once, and once we find a house is when we're going to do that. Because this thing is heavy and wood. Okay, it's not to be messed with. So, so I'm just gonna get like a cheaper, not cheap, but a cheaper bed frame, to keep my base and my bed, because that's what we're gonna use, and yeah. So, from there, from there. From there! Alright, I'm really tired, as you can tell. I did a lot of moving tasks today. Not that you can tell, because none of the books are moving tasks. So I did all the closed tasks. And there's your little update on why I've been so irreparably not active. And I do apologize for my lack of enthusiasm. I'm just super tired. I have to say that word. And yawn, apparently. So, we're going to be doing that. We have snow tires that are going to be getting installed, and it's just a whole 9 yards. Like, days off that I'm going to have off aren't days off that I have off. And yeah, we're essentially going to go from there and try to make things go as lovely as possible. And I will let you guys know how everything goes. And I think I'm gonna plan maybe doing like a little podcast starting at some point next year. But I want to talk to my partner about it because I would want him to be involved. And it has to do with the writing aspect, but it's also a listening view of maybe, I know a lot of people are doing them, but maybe a D&D podcast. Or because we read and watch Reddits all the time, we might also do that. If I can convince him to. He does not have to. But I feel like that might be something fun for the two of us to do together, so when I have to work, he can actually work with me. So, because I'm no longer going to be working with him. So, yeah, I feel like that might be something that me and him maybe can or can't do. We'll see. And yes, in playing with this, I shouldn't be playing with it. But I'm playing with the little flashlight that comes in it because it's a magnet. Other than that, I hope to see you guys very soon. If you have any questions, concerns, anything like that, any videos that you guys would want to see, any specific ideas that you have for me or my partner coming up in the upcoming year, feel free to also leave that here, and I will be seeing you guys very soon. Bye-bye now.